In a bit of a surprise patch this morning, Colossal Order has released a bunch of bug fixes dealing with some major issues with Cities Skylines 2 that have been plaguing the game since the Economy 2.0 update, as well as some bug fixes from before that update. However, what I thought was really cool was the addition of a bunch of new assets into the game as part of a free content update. A lot of this new content revolves around smaller scale buildings, which is one of the big complaints a lot of people had with City Skylines 2. Everything felt so big. It just felt so big. You couldn't have a small police station or a small elementary school. It was all just huge. Well, Colossal Order's art team has done a fantastic job in giving us 27 new service building variations and a bunch of new vehicles, as well as implemented some new tools into the game to help with detailing. This is part one of what will be a multi-part detailing patch updates for the game. Let's jump in and take a look at some of these new content additions to Cities Skylines 2. So starting off, we have some new landscaping tools available to us over here. These are surface textures. Now this is very similar to the surface assets mod and everything that adds in a bunch of surfaces. This is the same thing, except now implemented into the base game with 2 concrete surfaces, 2 grass surfaces, 2 pavements, 2 sand, and 3 tile surfaces. And it's basically placed down the exact same way, where you draw your little squares and everything like this. And there we go. There's a big old plot of concrete. We could do some pavement surfaces if we wanted to, like this. So yeah, you just got to make sure it all connects and complete the area. And there we go. So now we have a surface painter tool available to us in the base game without needing a mod. Of course, there are limited numbers of surfaces you could use right here. You can get some more of those from the Paradox mods and everything like that if you wanted to, but it's really nice that they have included that now in the base game. And if you want to get rid of them, you just bulldoze over top of those. Now there's also a bunch of new roundabouts, 8 new roundabout decorations, and these are all zonable now. Roundabouts are now zonable. If we use your standard small roundabout, boom, we can now zone on 3 sides of this small roundabout. And there's a few different types now. We got some with trees, we got some concrete with a bush in the middle. The medium roundabout just increases the footprint of the tiled areas around it. Trees and bushes, concrete. The large roundabout has 4 3x6 zonable tiles on it. And again, trees and bushes or a concrete. And then the very large roundabout has a lot of space to be able to build on that. Trees and bushes, and again, concrete with a hedge and a tree in the middle. Very cool. It's going to make our roundabouts a lot more useful instead of just random dead ends. At least we can now zone on those and have, houses in a cul-de-sac. Very American, maybe European. I don't know. I'm not a European. I don't pay attention to European roundabouts or cul-de-sacs, but I know in America we have lots of suburbs with, roundabouts like this with houses around them. So really awesome that has been added in for us. Now, the big thing, the 27 new building variations for service buildings. Let's take a look at all of them. We're going to start with the water tower. We now have a small water tower right there. You see right here, it costs $7,500 per month, and it has an water output of 3.9 million, low noise pollution. Compared with the regular water tower, it's basically roughly half as much. So if you wanted a smaller water tower to begin with, still very expensive in comparison to something like the groundwater pumping station for only $10,000. But if you don't have any groundwater and you don't want to do, a water pumping station itself, and you want to do some water towers, you could definitely do that and have a smaller, nice looking water tower. Next up is something that I've been asking for a lot, and that is the small medical clinic. That is right. It's a cute, tiny little medical clinic. Isn't it so freaking adorable? This has no upgrades available to it. It's just this singular building right here. It does cost $10,000 to $24,500 per month, 25 patient capacity, and 3 ambulances. In comparison to the regular medical clinic, it is quite a bit cheaper, but it only has a quarter of the capacity instead of 100, only 25, and 2 more ambulances on the regular medical clinic. But again, it's a great medical clinic for just your smaller, more rural areas or smaller, smaller towns, things like that. So very nice addition right there. Next up, we have a new fire station. This is the urban fire station right here. 12,000 monthly upkeep, 6 fire engines in comparison to the other ones. The firehouse is only 10,004, so slightly more expensive, but it does have 2 more engines. And in comparison to the big fire station, it is considerably cheaper. But the thing I love about this is the look of it. Look at that. Very, very nice. Again, urban, wall to wall, goes all the way to both edges, so you can fit that into a downtown area, and it's not going to stick out like an absolute sore thumb, and it's going to fit in very nicely in your urban areas. Speaking of urban, we also now have an urban police station, also for your downtown areas right here. Very lovely building set inside a big old parking lot right there. So that's going to be really, really nice for our bigger towns. But if you don't want something in your bigger town, you can go for the new small police station. This is a police station like what I would see here in my hometown. A very small 1-story basic building and everything like that. Really, really love it. The costs are, again, very comparable. The urban police station is $25K a month, 40 jail capacity, 16 patrol cars. In comparison to a regular police station, it's really not that much more. Of course, it's way cheaper than the police headquarters. Only 4 less cars, though, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, very, very nice building. And the small one is only $15,000 per month. So actually a great step down from the regular police station. And same number of patrol cars, just a little less jail capacity. So really, really nice starting police station right there for us. And one last thing on this urban police station. This is the first of the new buildings that has an upgrade. We can get a helipad on the very top. That helipad right there just adds in a helicopter for the police to extend the range coverage on it. Now, we did get 4 new education buildings. We got a small elementary school right there. We've got an urban elementary school. We got a small high school. And we have an urban high school, which I'm going to have to put right there, I guess. So starting with that small elementary school right here, only 5,000 upkeep on this. Very, very nice and cheap. It does have 2 upgrades, an extension wing that we can put on the back, and a gymnasium that we can also slap down onto it right there. Very beautiful little building right there. Great for your smaller towns. Again, a focus of a lot of these new buildings is a mixture of small town stuff and some bigger town stuff. So we have a nice variety of buildings depending on the size of our city. The urban elementary school can hold up to 1,500 students, has a 17,500 monthly upkeep on it, and it has 2 extensions. We can add in some extra floors onto the top and make it even taller. And this is my favorite part right here, a courtyard playground. Slaps in right back there, and we have a very nice urban playground right in between it. Something like this you'd see very heavily in cities like New York and stuff like that with these their elementary schools would be in these big tall buildings with, the playground kind of built into the middle of it like that. So very, very nice. Small high school. Again, monthly maintenance is very cheap compared to the regular high school, 400 students. We have 2 extension upgrades, an extension wing that we can put on the back, and then it can have a football field, the sports park, which is absolutely massive in comparison to the size of the high school. Yeah, it's very huge in comparison to this small high school. You get this massive sports complex. It's a little bit much, I think, but I guess it'll work. And last but not least, we have the urban high school. I love this building. I'm a sucker for bridges over roads like this. These I don't even know what you call them, but these walkways between buildings going over top of a road. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Love it. This comes with, again, an extension of floors, so 4 more floors up on the very top, and it can have a rooftop sports park, which I thought was really neat. Get some, those aren't Is that pickleball maybe? That might be pickleball. I'm not familiar. I'm not a sports person, but it does get some nets and stuff up on top. A really nice sitting area for the students, and like maybe like a sunroom kind of thing. It's a very posh looking thing right there. I really like it. So that is our urban high school. We also got a new small post office, which was, kind of cool. The big post office is fine. I didn't really see the need to have a smaller one, but now we have a tiny little post office right here that comes with a small mail storage extension on the back that you can add onto it. So, nice little small suburban mail post office area. So not bad. Now, we did get 6 new public transportation buildings. Let's go through them all real quick right here. We got a small bus station. So, very small, simple bus station for your smaller towns and your smaller areas that don't need the big old giant bus stations that we normally have, which are absolutely massive. Got a couple of new train stations right here. We got a small train station and a medium train station. So now we can fit in train stations in a much tighter area, and they don't take up so much room and everything else like that. So I really like this addition right here for these new train stations. I think it's going to really help out some of our, especially our suburban areas of the cities. And the last 3 public transportation buildings are all in the subway category. We now have a small overground subway station right there. So small overground subway station instead of the big one. And then 2 brand new things are a small elevated subway station and just a regular sized elevated subway station. Roads can be dragged underneath this right here, so these are going to be really good for your compact, dense downtown areas where we can squeeze in, and this takes up very little room overall, and then get our roads and stuff up underneath those and start adding these into our downtown areas. Get some Chicago stuff going on with these big elevated rails. These are totally, this is all Chicago to me. And I'm a big fan of the Chicago elevated rail system and everything, so these are going to be really fun to add in to a city. Besides that, we got a bunch of new types of parks. We got I'm not going to show off all of these, but we got some ring parks, some tiny city parks, campfires. We got some passage parks, hedge parks, multi-purpose. 5 new city parks in total, as well as some new parking lot options over here. We've got some motorcycle parking, tiny parking, canopy parking, and then we got some like long skinny parking right there, or wide parking. So we got several new types of parking options and everything like that. Sure, if I would ever have a road that close to each other like that, a little 3x3 road, but I guess maybe you might. So yeah, several new parking options, 6 new options in total for that. And then there were also 4 new vehicles added: a North American style garbage truck, snowplow, passenger train, and a European cargo train engine. So several new options right there, and several new looks for stuff in the city. Lots of new buildings. I was really excited to see this when it popped up. So get in there, play around with all these new buildings, and you can now start trying to build your small rural town of your dreams in Cities Skylines 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy all these new assets that they gave out to us before they go on their summer break. And I know that they said in their post that they're going to be doing some more development and more free content updates in the fall when they return to the office. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.